Hello everyone and welcome to our December general energy forecast for 2022. Can you believe that we are here at the very end of 2022, entering into 2023? And what an interesting journey that we've all been through for this 2022. We've had Chiron retrograde, so the wounded healer. We've had Venus retrograde. Of course, we've had Mercury. We're now in the midst of Mars retrograde. We had Neptune retrograde. So we have had a lot of things rise up for us. We've had a lot of things come up. And this isn't necessarily because the universe is trying to punish us or because we're terrible people or anything like that. Everything that is happening so that we can see the rocks, you can call them rocks, you can call them patterns, you can call them judgments, whatever you want. These things have all come up so that we can see the things that we're still carrying around that no longer serve us. And not only that, but then begin to implement new behaviors so those things that used to, kind of come up or crop up no longer do. So yes, has it been tumultuous? Yes. Have there been opportunities for growth? I swear to you, around every corner I think there was one. But there's also been such tremendous growth for all of us in so many different ways. Maybe it's been physical, maybe it's been mental, maybe it's been spiritual, emotional, mental, but we have all grown in one way, shape, form, or another. And we're just going to continue that growth. That's what we're here to do. We are here to remember the truth of who we are. So everything that comes up is just a block that we have placed in between us and the truth of who we are. And every time a block gets removed, fantastic, because we're closer and closer to realizing the truth of who we are. So for this month, I'm going to be, it's like a whole Colette Baron Reid party here, because I was just guided to use the I have 4, but I was only guided to use 3 of the Colette Baron Reid decks that I have. And so the first one we're going to be pulling from is the Postcards from Spirit. And this is just going to be like a generalized message from Spirit to all of us about the month of December. Then we're going to have the Enchanted Map. And then we're also going to have the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms. So these are the decks that we're going to be using, and we're going to be seeing the energies that we're going to be working with. And I'm going to break it up into week 1, week 2, week 3. And then, of course, we'll be entering into the new year. So let's go ahead and let's see what beautiful energies we are going to be working with, or what the general message is for the month of December. Whoa, okay. All right, so let's see. What is our general message for the month of December? What does Spirit want to share with us? And so it's all just written. There's no pictures, so this is just a direct message from Spirit. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to read both of these because they both kind of came out upright or flipped over. So it says, "Dearest you, did you know that when you stop fighting and accept everything exactly as it is right now, miracles start to happen? There is a freedom in that kind of radical acceptance. Let go of unrealistic expectations and see things as they really are, not how you would like them to be. You'll be surprised at how everything seems to fall into place. When you refuse to accept things, life gets messy. You act messy, and your world stays messy, tense, and in disarray. But don't try to force a change or manipulate. Hi, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Or manipulate circumstances. Instead, learn about what is in front of you and face it with your eyes fully open. Then you can decide, stay or go, sink or swim, move or stay. Acceptance is the key to freedom and opens the door to real opportunities waiting to be discovered. Set yourself and others free, loving you so much, always and forever, Spirit. And so what I love about this card, this is what I love about this deck. It is very straightforward. And so it's asking us to move into acceptance and to move into letting go of our own expectation and step instead into expectancy. Expectation is, this is the way I think it should go, the way I think it should show up, the time in which it should, and there's a whole bunch of shoulds. It should do this. But when we step in to expectancy, simply knowing that good things are on their way, that is when miracles happen. Because we are no longer playing by our agenda and our plan. We are now allowing Spirit room to actually work in our lives. And we are simply allowing things to unfold naturally. And another beautiful thing about this card is it says, accept things as they are with your eyes fully open. So instead of going with a story, and this is just the best way I can really explain it, is when it's raining outside, instead of being like, oh my God, it's raining and it's going to be cold and it's going to be windy and I'm going to get wet and my hair's going to get messy and this is going to happen and that's an expectation. And you are not seeing things as they truly are. What you're seeing is your own story, your own agenda beginning to play out. Because what we don't realize is we have such a tendency to decide against ourselves. And that's something that Spirit is inviting us to stop doing. Okay, it's raining outside. Spirit, you decide what that means for me. Don't let me use the rain or this circumstance, whatever it may be, for my destruction. Instead, let me use it for the coming of my peace. Let me accept that this is happening, not because I'm a bad person, not because of the universe is trying to punish me, not even because the universe is necessarily trying to teach me a lesson. Thank you, universe, for guiding me through this. And thank you for showing me how this can be used for the coming of my peace. Thank you for that. Because the universe it's always unfolding, and it's always unfolding for your benefit. I know that it doesn't always seem that way, but that truly is the will of the universe, is for you to be happy and for you to be free. And so there are certain things that are blocking you from that happiness and freedom, certain things that are blocking you from the truth of who you are. And so the universe kind of sets up certain things in motion in order for you to see, this is the story, this is the pattern, this is this that you're carrying around that is really stopping you from that happiness. So, really beautiful card. Our next one is, Dearest You. There are times in life when taking a risk is better left for another day. Other times are perfect for taking that leap. And even though it says leap, let's remember that Spirit's going to meet us where we are. So if you're too afraid to take a leap, Spirit isn't going to, shove you off the cliff. Spirit will say, it's okay. Like, take a step in faith with me. No matter how small that is. If you want to start your own business, you want to start, a new career, you want to move somewhere, start by packing a bag. Start by thinking, like, what would the name of my business be? Or why do I really want to start a business? Like, what is the desire behind it? Or like I said, if you're wanting to move, pack a bag. I'm not saying pack every bit of clothes that you have, but start packing a bag and just taking that small little step to be like, oh, wow, I packed one bag. It wasn't that bad. No matter how dangerous it might seem, well, hold on to your parachute strings for today. Is leap time. Realize that no matter what, we will not let you fall down or drown, get lost or hurt yourself in any way on this one. Even if it may feel like you are in a free fall, we are here for you, and you cannot stop freaking out about getting hurt and relax into this transition to something new. So again, it's already telling us that we're transitioning into something new in 2023. And the other card was already telling us, come into radical acceptance. And now Spirit's just being like, relax. Know that I trust the good. Trust that I am with you. And actually, that was a card that I pulled this morning in my Awakening Miracles group was, what was it? It was from Kyle Gray's something, Keepers of the Light. And I believe it was the Hope card. And it was like, trust the good. You know, if you don't trust God, that's okay. Trust the good. Trust the good in life. All the elements are in place and your soul is ready for a new experience. No matter what you're asking about, it's time to take a risk and do the thing that scares you. No matter what happens, you will land softly, right on target. Don't worry about the outcome. Spirit's got that covered. It's taking the leap itself. That's the point. We love your courage. Embrace it. And again, if you're just too afraid to do anything, take a step. Even if it's a small one, just one little step. That's all that it takes. That's all Spirit's looking for. And it's like, okay, you took the step and now I'm going to reveal the next one. And then I'm going to reveal the next one. And then you're going to, start that momentum. And then you're not only going to want to leap, you're going to just want to free fall and be like, yes, because you're in that trust that everything is going to be guided. So, wow, wow, wow. For the month of December, I mean, we've got some amazing energies here. So it's about acceptance and it's about not fighting and it's about allowing and seeing things through the eyes of Spirit, taking those steps that we need to in order to begin that shift and change. So now let's go ahead and let's see what other beautiful energies we're working with. So let's see, what energy are we working with for the first week of December, which I count as this week. So this week for me is the official full week of December because last week we only had like 3 days. So this is like the first official week for me. Okay, so let's see. Oh, how beautiful. All right, so we have Spark. What an absolutely beautiful card to start our first week of December with. So this is Spark. This is really about what is sparking your interest? What is sparking your love? What is bringing you to life? What do you love to do that takes you out of the everyday and brings you in to the eternal, ever-present moment where you forget about time, you forget about space, you forget about everything, and you are just engrossed in the moment? What sparks that? And if you're like, well, I don't know, great. Spirit already gave you the wonderful opportunity to explore that. Explore it for yourself. And let's read the little affirmation or the little thing that she says above it for card number 34. You are a clear channel for divine creativity. Again, it's not up to you to figure everything out. It's up to you to allow yourself to be that channel for the divine. You are not the painter. You are the paintbrush. And I think all too often we get caught up in like, I'm the painter. I have to figure it out. I know when I first started doing this full time that I was like, where am I going to come up with ideas? I mean, you can only talk about angels and guides and this and that for so long. Like, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to run out of ideas. And Spirit said, you have a limit, but I am endless. You let me handle that. And I was like, wow, okay. So allow yourself that creative expression in whatever way, shape, or form. And as a beautiful friend of mine said, art is about the expression of the soul. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. It doesn't matter if it meets artistic standards. What matters is it is the divine expressing itself through you. Don't let your ego, like my ego got in my way of expressing yourself that way, especially number one, when it came to writing. I didn't want to write anything. I didn't think my words were good enough, and I didn't know how to punctuate very well, and grammar and this and that. So I really never went into that. I was like, oh, I can speak it. Oh, speaking. Honey, I got that on lock. But, writing, I don't know. But then I just was like, Spirit kept on giving me the prompt, write a book, write a book, write a book, write a book. And finally I was like, oh my God, I'm tired of hearing it, because I was getting messages from other people and just from like random conversations. And I said, okay, Spirit, you want me to write a book? Give me the first chapter. Give me the title and the name. Hey, thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. And you know what? Spirit gave me the first title, and on my walk, it gave me the whole first chapter. And I voice memoed it, or I recorded myself talking the whole first chapter. And then I got home and I sat down very nicely, very calmly, got out a notebook. And let me see, I think I have it right here. I do. Hold on, let me grab it here. And so I got out just a notebook, and I just started writing. And there was no like, oh my God, it has to be perfect or anything like that. But it was just, here we go. Here it just started. And I was like, okay, this is what it's gonna be. And Spirit gave it to me. Just like that. Bing, bang, boom. But you have to allow yourself that creativity. Like, you have to allow it. So now let's kind of see what might be the shadow aspect for this. Like, we have this beautiful energy, and it's like, yeah, I want to do it. Woohoo, this sounds great. But let's see what might be a block, or what might be a shadow that's stopping us from being that clear channel for creativity. Okay, so we have 2 cards here. So our first card, coming in the reverse and not a surprise, it is the Ringmaster of Scrutiny, Discernment, Clear Vision, Details. And it says what might happen is you're going to get caught in the, does it look right? Is it perfect? Remember, your art is not about perfection. Your ability to bring through the divine, that's already there. That's already present. You already have that ability. What we have to do is get over, if you will, get over ourselves and stop looking for the chips in the china, because you're the only one that sees them until you point them out to other people. Then other people are going to see the chips in your china. And so then Spirit is saying you need to really be kind with yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Be kind to yourself. And really be in that state of reverence, like, wow, I am so happy and grateful that I get to be this clear channel, and that I get to bring this particular piece of art, no matter what it is, I get to bring that through. And I am just so happy and grateful that I get to do this. And not only that, but be in that consideration. Like, what would the divine like me to bring through? If you don't know, what would the divine like me to do? Maybe you just start doodling. Maybe you get like a little paint set. But just what sparks you, and just really get considerate about that. So our first week of December, it's really about being that clear channel, getting over ourselves, getting over our egos, not looking at all the little tiny little insignificant details, and really using our discernment. And what is discernment? Well, there's a big difference. Judgment is, this is right, this is wrong. Okay, that's judgment. This is right, this is wrong. Discernment is, this just isn't for me. It may be for me later, but right now, this is just not for me. It's not, this is good, this is bad. It's just, right now, this energy just isn't working. And that's okay. And that goes with relationships, and that goes with, just a whole bunch of different things. You can just be like, yeah, that's not working for me. And that's okay. So that's our first week. Now, let's go to our second week. Ooh, okay. So second week of December. Into the unknown. And I mean, this card, it's very straightforward, I feel like. We're going into what may be uncharted territory for our personality, for our ego, for our current experience. But what we have to remember is we are not alone. What we have to remember is that we are always divinely directed and divinely protected, because that's actually the other card that's there, which is the Moonlight card, which is all about our intuition and trusting that intuition. But let's go ahead and, again, let's read the little quotes that she has above these. So this card number 7, trust and all will be revealed. Life is an adventure, and often new opportunities will arise that you won't know how to deal with. This is one of those times. And again, this echoes that other card that we got where Spirit's like, you know what? Take that leap. You don't have to know necessarily you don't have to expect it in this is how it should be, but just know that good things are on their way. Be in that expectancy. And then we have card number 51. And card number 51 is your intuition allows you to see beyond the mundane, logical, and analytical. Follow it. Remember that the language of intuition is a symbolic one. It can be subtle through a hunch, a tingle, a clear sound, or an animal or an object crossing your path. Spirit is sending you messages to help you now. Success is yours if you follow the signs. I mean, how does it get any better than this? Yes. We are in a state of like, we don't know what's happening. We're kind of in unknown territory in our logical mind. Our logical mind is like, where am I? What's happening? But our intuition is telling us, you're right where you need to be, honey. You're right where you need to be. Everything is going exactly according to plan. Follow me. So we have a choice. We can follow the fear and kind of stay in our old patterns of behavior, or we can follow our intuition, follow love, follow joy and bliss, and see where that gets us. So now let's see what's the shadow that's going to come up for that second week. Okay, so our shadow actually isn't a shadow at all. It's actually a very helpful card. And it is the Winged Wise Ones, angelic help, miraculous aid. Again, Spirit is here and it is saying, hey, I got you. I am here for you. I'm going to help you. I'm going to guide you. But you have to open yourself up. That's what I feel like from this card. It's asking, like, ask your angels, ask your guides for help. And, you know, I know so many people are like, well, I'm not psychic. Everyone is psychic. Everyone is connected to the source in one way, shape, form, or another. And everyone has intuition. Everyone has that direct line of communication. It's, are you exercising it? It's a muscle like anything else. Just like, you know, at night when you go to sleep and you don't talk and you wake up in the morning and you're going to be like, or, you know, maybe you have that frog voice or, you know, or a very deep voice. Then it's because you didn't exercise that muscle. And the intuition is the exact same way. Exercise that muscle. And the way that we do that every day. Spirit, what would you have me wear? Spirit, which way would you have me go to work? Spirit, you know, asking, ask. You know, there's a beautiful line in A Course in Miracles that says, you do not ask too much, but you ask far too little. And that actually is going to bring us to our second card, which is the Camel Boy, Small Steps, asking for help. But again, it's in the reverse position, so we need to ask for help. We need to know that it's not up to us to know everything. It's only up to us to ask for the help. And we are sometimes far too arrogant and proud to be like, oh no, I can't ask for help. No. I got to do this on my own. And let go of that story. Spirit is there to help you. With everything, from the smallest, what seems insignificant to you to those big things. And you know, that reminds me of a quote from Mary Baker Eddy. And of course, I am summarizing it. I don't think this is the exact quote, but it's pretty much, I don't tell she said God, but you can use universe. I don't tell God about my big problems. I tell my problems about my big God. I mean, what a shift. Think about that. Instead of being like, oh God, I have all these problems, it's more like problems. Guess what? I have divine intervention. I have divine protection. I have divine guidance. You think you're a hindrance? No. You're just a little bump in the road. That's it. But we have to ask for that help. Ask often. Ask as much as you can. And when it comes to asking, we can do a quote unquote prayer of supplication. You know, dear God, give me the money, or dear God, give me the strength, or dear God, give me this, or dear God, give me that. Or we can do it in a different way. And we can say, dear God, right now, you know, I am in the midst of what seems to be a very big problem. And I really don't know what to do, and I don't know how to solve it. But I am learning that it's not my job to handle this problem on my own, because I'm the one that made it. And you're the one who's ready to give me a solution. I don't know what that solution is, but I know I'm going to be guided to it. And I don't have to know what it is. And I don't have to know any of this stuff. I'm afraid I might miss the symbols, but I know that you're always guiding me. Notice how we're saying our fears, but then we're kind of turning it around and being like, you know what? Here's my fear. I'm acknowledging it, but I'm also learning, or I'm also accepting, or I'm also, however you want to put it, that opposite, that I'm afraid I might miss the sign. However, I'm learning that you're going to constantly give me the signs. If I need it, you know how to hit me over the head with a 2x4. You know how to do it. So I get the message. And I'm so happy and grateful for that. So very big second week of asking for help, heading into the unknown, trusting our intuition. That's where it really comes in, and stepping into trust. What are we going to trust? If you can't trust God because, you know, the word God has a negative connotation for you, that's okay. And if you're still like, ooh, the universe is too big, I don't know if I can, you know, if it's going to really focus on me, trust good. Trust the good. Okay? So now let's move to our third week. All right, so our third week of December. Wow. Okay, so we actually have 3 cards. And so first is this beautiful card, intention. So we're beginning to set those intentions for the new year. And something that I like to do, and it's something I'm going to be doing with my group, but we're actually going to be doing a live Zoom call for intention setting. And I'm going to be kind of helping people to see a new way of setting intentions, because sometimes we get caught again back with that first card, and back even with our first 2 cards from the postcards from Spirit. We get stuck in this, like, this is how it should be, this is how I want it to be. And so when it comes to setting intentions, what if we just said, this is what I want to experience? Like, I intend to experience more love, more joy, more happiness. And so that's something that we can all start doing in that third week. Start setting that intention. And as we do, we see these details, and we're getting to that, we're getting clarity. That's really what that exercise helps us to do. And that's what I'm going to be helping, you know, my group do in our Zoom call on Awakening Miracles. And that's, again, on the Wix Spaces, and the link's there if you want to check it out. And I'll also post it in the comments after the video's done, because I can't do it now. It won't let me press the paste button for whatever reason. So we're gaining that clarity. We're really looking at, like, why do I want to experience this? Or does that feel good? Like, when I'm saying it, does that feel good? Like, when I say it, because you might be like, yeah, I want to experience more happiness. But then as you say that, maybe there's a little ping. Maybe there's like a little discomfort. So you got to be like, ooh, okay, well, that doesn't feel too good. So what we have to start saying, okay, what does feel good? What can I say that's really going to help me with that? So maybe instead of, I intend to experience happiness, I intend to experience more smiles. I intend to smile more. So that may feel a little bit better to you. That's just something that you can do, but you have to get like right with yourself. And that's where that details and clarity comes in. Then we have the magical prayer card number 32. And so with this one, let's read the little quote above here. So, okay, so this is exactly what I just talked about. This is what I love about doing the cards. Speak your prayer, listen for the answer, act in faith. Conscious contact with your higher power is achieved through the ritual of prayer and meditation. Speak and listen to the divine force within the field of creation. Surrender your wishes and desires to spirit. You may not get what you want, but you will surely get what you need. So absolutely beautiful. So it's saying set those intentions, gain that clarity, hook up with spirit and be like, okay, spirit, like I am right now. And okay. So here's what we'll say about this. When you align yourself with the truth of who you are and you set your intentions from that space, you are automatically set up with the divine. You are automatically set up with spirit because your spirit is part of the overall spirit. And so when you are setting your intentions from that space, and like I said, you say something, okay, I'm intending this, but it doesn't feel good. Okay, that means it's just off and not necessarily in alignment. So we say words, which are just frequencies, which are just translations of energy into what it is we really want to say. And that's it. So now let's see what's the shadow that might be looming in that third week. Whoa, okay. Goodness gracious. All the cards. Oh, okay, see? And all the cards fell, except one was not turned over. So I turned that one over, and I think this is absolutely beautiful. These two cards go perfectly together. Our first one is the Dream Walker, dreams, the collective good, illusions. So really looking at, like, is this the dream of my higher self, or is this the dream of my little self? And we know the dream of the little self because the dream of the little self is all about the material things or status or wanting to look a certain way or be a certain way or have a certain thing. And it doesn't mean that you can't have those things. It just means that those things are not the source of the happiness, the joy, the safety, the security, the so forth and the so on. Whatever the emotion is, they can help to activate that emotion, but they are not the source of it. And then we have the dueling dragons. So who are we going to feed? Are we going to feed our spirit or are we going to feed our ego? And that is, and again, it's your own choice. You get to choose who you're going to feed. You get to choose what energy you're going to focus on. That's your choice. All right, so then we're going to go to, let's see, so 1, 2, 3. And then I think the fourth one is probably more of like end of December, really kind of more beginning of January. But you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll poll and we'll just kind of see what comes out. Okay, so our last week of December, beginning of January, we have the Dragon's Lair. I'm not going to say be careful. Instead, be aware of the red flags that may start to pop up that are informing you that you are going back to an old pattern of behavior. You know, we're all good at setting New Year's resolutions, and we're all great at setting intentions, right? But then a good majority of the time, if we're honest with ourselves, we go back to those same behaviors. The ego's so good at being like, yeah, I see the problem, but I'm not going to do anything about it. And so in that end of December, beginning of January, we got to be very aware of those red flags. Now, we know that we are divinely directed and divinely protected. But again, if we don't follow that guidance, then we're going to go into the dragon's lair. And we're not going to necessarily kind of know our way out because we have chosen to go in there. We've chosen to enter into the darkness, into those darkened corridors of our minds where we've already been. We already know we don't like it, but we still go there anyway. Because why? We're going into the ghost lands. We're kind of going into nostalgia. The year is over. 2022, it's over. That's it. It happened. It was great. We take the lessons, not the story. We take the lessons, not the emotional baggage. We don't need to take it with us. There's no reason to. And then I'm just feeling like I just need to pull the card off of the top of the deck for the shadow aspect. And here are our two cards. Our first one, the cosmos. So we have the universe being like, don't let the past impede on your creative endeavors. Know that you are vast. Know that the past does not exist within you. It does not live in you. It only exists because you are allowing it to take room there. Don't allow that. You are vast. You are beyond measure. And then we have acquiring knowledge. But we're getting knowledge, but we need to be very, very aware of the insecurities that we may kind of be coming up with. Oh, I'm so glad you were able to find me. And once again, if you want to find more of me and see me more consistently, then feel free to go and join my Wix Spaces group where I post all the time. And of course, I post more there than I do on Facebook because it's my own personal group. So if you want to join that, the link will be, it's in the description of the video, but I'll also put it in the comments. So we need to be really aware of our insecurities and us manipulating circumstances in order to fit the way we think they should be. We're going back to let all things be exactly as they are. Let me see things in the light of truth, not in the shadows. Don't let me look through a darkened lens. Instead, let me see the truth and let me be very discerning. Okay, let me be very discerning. Let me reflect on it. Don't let me just jump into it. Let me really reflect on, and again, not being judgmental, but let me just reflect. Ooh, okay. Am I living in nostalgia? Am I, not looking at the red flags? Am I saying that I'm just this small little being? Or am I really standing in my magnitude? So being very aware of that because paradigm shifts can definitely happen, but we got to listen to spirit because that's why it's there. And because we got to be in integrity. We got to listen with integrity so that our intentions can hit the mark that we have already set. And we don't have to do anything. We merely rest in the stillness and the stillness of the truth of who we are. So that is our reading for the month of December. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here. Again, if you are interested in joining my Wix group, the link is in the description of the video. I'll also post the link in the comments and I'll pin that one so you guys can join or just check it out if you're interested. Remember, we will be doing a Zoom call in that group, kind of really helping us all to set intentions in a new and different way and in a space that's safe where we can all be really honest with ourselves and one another and kind of be each other's accountability partners and be like, you know what? When you said that didn't feel quite right. Would you like to put it in a different way? So just something to think about if you're interested. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here. And I will talk with you all soon.